ladies and gentlemen. Um, First of all, I would wish to thank Dr. Anil Garg and the organizers of this Congress for giving me this opportunity to share my views on this biomass power in India. So the topic is key factors to be addressed to develop biomass power in India. As you're all well aware, biomass is not new to India. We have a old history, and but in the recent years has suffered as Mr. Tusa has said, the onslaught of solar and wind. So I will quickly go through the four agenda points for this evening. I will give a short background of what AREVA Bioenergy is, and then I will talk about a large untapped biomass potential in India, and then mention about the barriers to biomass power plant, especially in India, and what are the solutions to overcome these barriers. AREVA, as you may be all aware, is #1 worldwide in nuclear energy. And as a natural offshoot, we are also into renewable energy, giving advanced solutions for offshore wind, bioenergy, concentrated solar power, and energy storage. And in bioenergy, we are into the complete gamut of activities from EPC support up to training, EPC and services during warranty period. And we are a world leader in bioenergy, having 39 years of experience and 2.5 gigawatt of bioenergy power projects worldwide. And this is typically the places where we have installed. We have installed some in India, and we have installed in Thailand, in Philippines, and Brazil, and Europe. And these are the references of the recent bioenergy projects in Southeast Asia. So we have been instrumental in offering turnkey solutions in Southeast Asia while working from India. So next, we go to the large untapped biomass potential. So as you are aware, the renewable energy share in India, it stands around 12 to 13%, although the PLF may be lower. So why biomass power? Compared to other renewable energy resources, biomass power offers the following advantages: higher availability, stable generation, higher plant load factor, and O&M is much simpler because people are generally very well aware and experienced in this sector, and also it lends itself to hybridization. And biomass-based power plant in India, we have about 138 biomass plants and 58 bagasse-based cogeneration plants in India, and almost 30 biomass plants are also under execution. And states like Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Punjab, and Rajasthan have taken serious initiative to implement biomass projects. And also, we are using latest technologies to improve the efficiency of the plants by going for higher steam parameters. And this is a short summary of the feed-in tariff for biomass and cogeneration plants in various states in India. Although it has improved over the years, I must add here that it's far less as compared to some countries like Southeast Asia, especially a country like Philippines easily offers twice. Regarding availability of biomass, I think everybody knows that India is an agricultural country. We have immense potential for biomass exploitation. I mean, he was mentioning around 35,000 megawatt. This is a very conservative figure of about 18,000 megawatt potential. This is a typical biomass map of India, where we have mapped the various different biomass which are available in the different regions, varying in calorific value, varying in physical and chemical properties, and the fuel price also varies from region to region and type of biomass. Now we come back to the barriers to development of biomass in India. So these are typically the following factors which we have to consider for development of the plant in India. First is the technology-specific barriers, availability of biomass, logistics, cost of biomass, institutional and state policies, informational barriers, and financial barriers. Technology-specific barriers. Biomass fuel are complex in nature. It's non-homogeneous. It's lower bulk density, high moisture. It's fibrous in nature, has a high alkali and chlorine content, and the properties, physical and chemical, are widely varying from type of biomass. So special attention needs to be made for preparation and feeding system, and the most appropriate technology has to be selected. The other barriers are availability of land. You need approximately 4 acres of land for 10 megawatt. To look at the grid vicinity, the water availability, environmental clearance, and plantations. The critical factors to be considered in the design of boiler. This is chlorine, the alkali content, fuel size, and volumetric flow, high volatiles, and moisture in fuel. Chlorine leads to accelerated corrosion, especially in the superheated area. High alkali and alkaline earth constituents result in deposit formation, as you can see in the picture. And the deposit formation results in reduction in heat transfer areas, fouling, and hence lower efficiency. And fuel size and volumetric flow, again, the bulk density is low, and because of that, you need to handle much larger quantity of fuel. And also the nature of fuel varies, and moisture also varies with season. You have some typical pictures of the biomass. And also you have to address high volatiles and moisture in the fuel. This is one typical in Napier grass, which is also called elephant grass, with 45% moisture. And here we have tried to map the different kinds of biomass that are available in India and the seasonal availability of these. So typically when you select a power plant, you must look at this, the seasonal availability of this biomass, and design the boiler such that you are able to utilize the different combinations of the biomass that you will be using over a period of seasons. And logistics also plays a big part in biomass, because any transportation more than 50 kilometers becomes unviable. And as you can see, the cost of biomass has been rising exponentially from what was about 800 rupees per ton in 2006, when we had a boom of biomass plants coming up in India. It has risen to almost 2,500 to 3,500 rupees recently. And this necessitates the use of new biomass fuels. So then I don't want to talk much about institutional incentives and policies, because I think MNRE and the government agencies have been trying their very best to improve and to give more and more incentives for building biomass plants in India, like giving income tax holidays, accelerated depreciation, custom and excise duty exemptions, and softer loans. But one of the main barriers is informational barrier. Stakeholders generally are not aware of the biomass potential, especially in India. They lack knowledge, they are uncertain in the source of information. The climate change is not being considered as an immediate threat, and there is an absence of enabling environment. And there is inadequate training and capacity building. Looking at the financial aspects, you have higher initial capital costs. A 10 megawatt plant typically costs 50 to 60 crores. And O&M is quite low, about 5.6% per annum. IRR rate expected is 15%, and gestation period is 2 to 3 years. But there are some financial risks that has to be considered, so especially cost overrun, increased cost of O&M over the years, and the fuel prices, which can vary widely, and any government policies and fiscal incentives for the biomass plants. What are the solutions to overcome these barriers? we have to explore new biomass. This is what we call as niche fuels. So AREVA, for one, we are not dealing with any conventional biomass. We're always looking at some niche biomass like cotton stalk, napier grass, which are much more easily available and they're much lower in cost. These are the examples of some of these fuels. What are the drivers for growth? It is in India's interest to pursue biomass power development because power demand is increasing. We need solutions for rural electrification, and biomass can grow along with other renewable portfolios. We are not in competition here. It can go alongside wind, solar. India is a growing country, so we need to focus more and more on renewable and biomass plants on large scale. And key drivers will be competitiveness, more incentives, and increasing well-trained resource. And mature technology are already available here. And we should have some task force committees to explore newer, cheaper, and quickly replicable biomass fuel, innovative methods for sourcing biomass for power at competitive price, and implementation of programs to encourage high-efficient biomass plant, and also collection of database of the biomass availability in the various regions in the country. So, and this gels very well with the Make in India policy that is being talked about in India now. Biomass industry is one where we can have 100% equipment made in India. In fact, for all the projects that we have executed in Southeast Asia, the equipment have been sourced in India. So, what are the benefits of Make in India policy? 100% FDI and transfer of new technologies. This will be a competitive solution, and we have readily available manpower and resources. And industrial conglomerates are keen to have a share in RE portfolio, and there is a lot of trust in the leadership to motivate this further and further. With this, I close my presentation. I would just like to add one passing statement. India has always had an ancient connect with renewable energy. We have always worshipped the sun. Gayatri mantra has been one of the foremost mantras in India, and we have worshipped the sun as the source of energy, and befittingly solar will be the future source of energy for the world, and biomass is also a part of solar energy. Thank you very much.